Hey guys, so today we are continuing with our analysis of The Giver. Go ahead and open your notebook and put the date in the top right corner. Today's August 8th. And today we're going to be talking more about the type of society that Jonas lives in. As we learned this week, the society Jonas lives in is called a dystopia. Today we're going to learn more about dystopias and utopias because they have many similarities. Both societies attempt to eliminate inequalities in order to eliminate all conflicts between individuals and individuals in the community. And in a utopia, everyone is equal and happy with their lives. And in dystopia, this perfect world becomes overbearing and really starts to bother the people that live in it. So here are some of the characteristics of a dystopia. Freedom of speech is restricted. Go ahead and write that in your notebook. On the left-hand side of the page, let's write characteristics of a dystopia. And on the right side of the page, we'll write freedom of speech is restricted. People are watched all the time. So we saw in the first chapter that we have that announcer that can make announcements over the speakers at all times. And we'll find out that Jonas feels like he's being watched all the time too. People have a fear of the outside world when they live in a dystopia. So, like Jonas doesn't know anything about what occurs outside of his community. That's why being released is the worst thing he can imagine, because he can't imagine having to leave his community. The natural world is distrusted. As we're going to find out, things that are common to us in nature, like animals, are not common in Jonas's world. They create more order by getting rid of the natural world. There are uniform expectations. You guys might recognize this picture from another dystopian novel or movie, which is Divergent. And everyone has to look the same, everyone has to act the same, and everyone follows the same strict rules. The interesting thing about The Giver is that at first it seems as though it is a utopia. So think about your independent practice from Wednesday. We wrote down things about The Giver society that were good. And you might have said things like, the people in this world do not get angry. They just talk about their feelings until they understand other people's perspectives. Or you might have said that every single person has a job. That seems good too, right? What if I told you today that for the rest of your life you will be a nurse? Some of you might be really happy because some of you might want to be a nurse. But what if you don't like science? What if you get sick when you see blood? What if your dream is to be a chef or a teacher or a firefighter? I could say, too bad, you have to be a nurse. And you shouldn't complain because at least you have a job. That's what's going on in the Giver Society. So as you can see, there can be a lot of problems about a society that does not let you make your own choices. So as we continue to read The Giver, you're going to see that our protagonist, Jonas, often feels trapped and that he is trying to escape. He questions the existing social system, so he questions the government and the rules. He believes that something is wrong with his society. And he helps the audience recognize the bad parts of the dystopian world with his own perspective. So, what we're going to do is we're going to take another look at our answer to Wednesday's independent practice, so get that out in front of you. And you're going to think of any ways that your answer could actually be a bad thing too. So take 2 minutes on your own to write down at least one way your answer to number 3 could also be a bad thing. Then turn to your shoulder partner and discuss.